Day 1, I got acquainted and used to all of the items that the map did give us. It was really nice, gave us some iron armor, some tools, and a lot of blocks. I immediately used the dirt to build a dirt bridge out, and then used some of the remaining dirt to build a cobblestone generator. I also grew my first tree on day 1, that's all I did. Day 2, I wanted to create a platform under the lucky block, so none of the items that would come from the block would drop into the void. So I made a walkway with a cobble wall to protect, should any mob or TNT spawn. Day 2 was the first lucky block that I mined. I just got some hay. Also on this day, I did get a first mob. It was a skeleton riding a flying skeleton horse with a flame bow. Ran towards the water to put myself out. And the skeleton horse just decided to fly away, so he wasn't really much of an issue, so I eventually just let him be. The rest of the day consisted of mining more lucky blocks and creating a wall around so I didn't walk off the walkway. I didn't really want to lose this challenge on day 2, just for falling off and being a bit of an idiot. Rounding off the day, I was trapped in an obsidian box filled with water. In previous versions of the game this would be difficult, but you could just swim right out. Day 3, I stared at a big tree. I decided to cut down big tree, and then I eventually started a tree farm. This just started as the one sapling, but I did eventually expand the platform out to fit 4 trees. Day 3 was rather uneventful, but I did end up getting a jukebox with some music discs. Wanted to play some of them. This is what happened. Also, the biggest zombie in the world spawns, but he doesn't do much, he just kind of stood there. Day 4, I punched a log, just watched the leaves decay. That's all this clip is. Why? Day 5, I watched the sunrise, and apparently there was a beacon that summoned at some point as well. I mined cobblestone for the rest of the day, and then at some point I decided to make a big platform and lay out a load of different coloured beds. Day 5 was kind of a really colourful day, as I decided to make another platform and use some of the terracotta and clay blocks just to start the basis of a house, which eventually is going to turn out pretty bad. Day 6, I made a sandstone balcony as an expansion from the house just to view the lucky block. Didn't do much else that day. Day 7 was the first look at the house, and I put a sign on it that said, Hoem. Day 8, I threw an unlucky potion, full well knowing it was very unlucky, and instantly regretted everything. I also expanded the house using whatever blocks I could find, and whatever the lucky block gave me. It looked terrible, but I didn't care, I was probably going to get blown up at some point and lose this run. Speaking of getting blown up, I was given a jumbo lucky block, flicked the lever and ran to safety, which was a great decision by me because it decided to blow everything up. That's what it looked like after. And then day 8 really wanted to end this run because everything just exploded around me. Day 9, I stared at my dog for literally the whole morning, did nothing else. That was it. Such a productive use of my time. For the afternoon of day 9, I ended up repairing the platform because it was an absolute mess from all the explosions. And then I spent the rest of the day mining cobble because it was expensive to keep repairing that platform. Day 10 consisted of me fixing the platform and expanding it once again, but that immediately went to waste because in literally a minute it all exploded and I had to redo it, and it was just such a pain. Also on day 10 there was this weird effect where loads of zombies spawned. It blinded me, it slowed me down, but annoyingly it also set the time to night to spawn the zombies, so my day counter went back to 1. Very annoying. And yeah, here's just me fixing the platform again. Day 11, there was a massive lag spike before a load of anvils dropped on my head. Luckily, they did like 0 damage, but that could have been a lot worse. I eventually escaped that with my jump boost. I put a sign on this gold block and just wrote gold. Don't know why, just felt like doing it. But that was clearly unlucky because literally 30 seconds later, I would then go to explode. My gold block disappeared and I had to fix the platform again, and once again a villager and Mr. Rainbow also exploded. Day 12, another jumbo lucky block spawned, and learning from previous ones I ran for dear life, which ended up to be a fantastic decision with all of the TNT that spawned. There was more platform fixing, and I reckon my cobblestone place is going to be in the millions by the end of this. It's just insane how many times I've had to repair this and just mine cobble for hours on end. A wishing well spawned, but it wasn't a very good wish because it exploded me, but luckily I was in the water. Day 13 was a really quiet day until right at the end it was another one of those surprise attacks. This time it was silverfish and it reset the day counter again, so I had to go back to counting the days. But my dogs eventually came to my aid. I also threw another one of those unlucky potions. Why? I don't really know, but it was just terrible. Loads of mobs spawned, witch, explosions, just terrible. Day 14 I mined cobble for the entire day. Kid you not, that's all I did. You're watching this at 100 times speed. That was my day 14. Day 15, I was really frustrated with how messy the platform started to look, so I mined out everything that wasn't cobble and just replaced it with a nice kind of circular area. I then made a bigger platform and made a brand new tree farm. Day 16 to 19 was about working more on the base. So most of this time was actually taken up creating a more organised storage system. I had a bit of a chest monster all around the island, and this literally took 3 days to set up the chest, organise, write signs and everything like that. To improve the base, I wanted to build a slightly bigger cobblestone generator, and this is actually a design that was modified from one of my YouTube videos. Go check it out if you want to build a nice cobblestone generator. That worked great. And then on day 19, I built an enchanting area, and that got to 30 levels. By day 20, my platform had already been destroyed, and it was kind of summed up by this desert pyramid spawning. Day 21, there was a spider attack, and they did actually manage to push me off the platform, but luckily with my trident and all the water that was there, I did manage to save myself, only just. I had to use an ender pearl here because I didn't have any blocks. And yeah, I just kind of composed myself. But day 21 and going into day 22, I then did use the rest of the cobble to fix the platform. Just mainly because I didn't want to fall off, and I also wanted to save some of the items that the lucky block gave. But once again, that didn't last long because everything just exploded. And there's just me fixing the platform once again. Then there was another attack. It was zombies again. So I really just didn't want to have any luck this day. And in fact, this is the closest that I'd come to dying in this challenge yet. The zombies did take me down to 2.5 hearts. That was very close, but with my sword and my dogs, I did manage to survive. There was a little bit of a pause there as I panicked, but we did manage to get through it and survive to the next day. Day 23, the very first lucky block did explode on me. Just shot out a load of TNT, and I actually got that from using a silk touch. Didn't realise that would actually drop the block, but there we go. Also on day 23, a slime platform did appear, so I just had to jump on it as a little trampoline. You know, just anything to make this a little bit more fun. The wishing well granted me my death wish, so once again exploded the platform. And this is the story of my life, just exploding and repairing. Day 24 was the closest I have came to death in this challenge yet. It was the anvils once again, and these actually squashed me down to half a heart. You couldn't call it. All I could do was simply stare into the sky and eat a potato. A ghast then spawned, and that scared the life out of me, but that was no challenge for my bow. Speaking of things that scared me, on day 25 I had my first encounter with a wither. That just came out of nowhere, and as you could tell there was a lot of panic just running for my life. I hid in a house for a good few minutes. I managed to get some golden apples, and then I successfully defeated my first wither. That was actually quite easy because he just followed me into the water stream, and I could use that to my advantage. Day 26, I ended up watching a Dark Viper AU video.
Why do I only have $7? With that I can only buy something nice, not expensive.
And then I just spent the rest of the day just standing there, doing nothing. Like, this is just exactly what happened. Just standing there, completely wasting a day, but at least I wasn't going to get killed. Day 27, I tried to stop 2 falling anvils with a sign.
According to multiple reports in the German media, Bayern Munich are prepared to spend up to 100 million euros this summer to finally replace Robert Lewandowski.
Day 28 was really useful. I just sat there and watched a TIFO football video, and a lot of you may not have interest in football, so that probably just went over all of your heads. But day 29 was the day of exploding. I didn't explode once, didn't explode twice. It literally tried to explode me 3 times. And then, just when I thought it couldn't get worse, another wither spawned. My second wither in 4 days, but after the practice of the last one, this one was a lot easier. Day 30 to 32, I just wanted a relaxing day. I just didn't want to die, so I mined stone for the whole 2 days. Once again, you're watching this at 100 times speed. Mining stone for the whole 2 days is going to give me plenty to repair all the platforms from those explosions. Day 33, the only clip I had was me looking at the stats screen, but I saw I'd mined 41 days worth of lucky blocks, so it was making good pace. And going into day 34, there was a lot of platform fixing. The wishing well finally gave me some good luck and not TNT. You can kind of see a panicked turn. But it wasn't all good on day 34. I did try to get killed twice, once with a trap that was going to set me some cobwebs and lava, and then once again exploding the platform. Day 35, I got attacked by more zombies, but this time I was more equipped and more prepared as I got to the high ground and sniped them with a bow. I did then collect some Eyes of Enders from the lucky block and decided to light an end portal, and I was actually quite surprised that worked. Going into day 36, the end portal frame was lit, and I geared up, went into the end, and it was quite possibly the easiest end fight ever. It was so simple because the lucky block had given me all of the armor and tools fully enchanted I need, so I collected my XP and went home. Days 37 to 41 were all about base expanding. I expanded the tree farm just to have so much more wood. I then expanded the platform and fixed all the holes. I blew up my old house because it was just so ugly. I built a wall around the base so it was a little bit more secure so I didn't fall off. And then I did start to create a storage system in the corner. Once again, that had a little bit more organization. And I started moving all the chests over, which took quite a few days. The only thing of note on day 41 was another zombie attack. Now, this one is quite funny just for the sheer amount of panic. I was completely surrounded because the island was now a square. So I used 1 or 2 ender pearls to run away. Was walking into walls, just didn't know what to do. And because I was slowed down, I couldn't exactly jump on blocks. But I eventually got to some high ground and killed all of the zombies. Day 42 was a miserable day. I watched the platform explode and all of my cats explode with all of that TNT. Another wither spawned, so that put me at risk and it started destroying all of the island. But once again, because I had quite a lot of good gear, that was a slightly easier fight. So I then collected my third Nether star of the challenge. And then right at the end of the day, I had another attack. But this time it was more dangerous. It was a creeper attack. So you could see I panicked with all the blocks. And eventually I lost my blindness. And I just shot at all of the creepers just to kill them. Day 43 was a zombie attack. So not the luckiest 3 days. We had a zombie on 41. A wither and creeper on day 42. And another zombie on day 43. This one was just as panicked as the day on day 41. And when I eventually lost my blindness this time, I was so shocked at how many zombies had actually spawned. There was tons. But it was very satisfying with the sweeping edge sword just to swipe at them all. Day 44 also had a zombie attack, but you've seen enough of these, so let's just skip ahead to day 45, where I nearly got blew up. It's not been a good 4 days. Day 46, I spent the entire day staring at a sheep. Day 47, TNT yeeted me across my base. And days 48 to 50, I accidentally left the world running, so I did nothing. Days 51 to 55 was mining exclusively lucky blocks. During this time, a massive slime nearly killed me that I had to use a notch apple. And later on, a zombie attack reset the day counter, but because of how much of a mess it was, they just all instantly died. Then going into day 56, I realised I'd mined 1 less block than my target, so I had completely blitzed that. 57 to 60, I was tired of a mess of a platform, so I spent 3 days tidying it up. I was just mining all of the old blocks that had spawned, and yeah, it was just so much from the past 4 days had collected, and I just wanted a nice area to look at, so there's just a nice montage of me kind of tidying everything up, and I did kind of fix up the wall a little bit more around the base. I did manage to build a full-size beacon which had most of the effects. There was just so many gold, iron, diamond and whatnot that I collected throughout the time, so that was all good. And then finally I made a new enchanting area. Day 61 to 63 was all about going to the Nether. So I created my Nether portal and then had to use a funky little trick to get the portal to light because I didn't have a flint and steel. I immediately spawned in a nether waste biome, which is great because I could start an XP farm here. I started off by collecting some quartz, and then as I was mining down to collect debris, I did actually come across one. But I stayed down here for the next 2 days until I had enough debris to get full armor and pickaxe, which I did to round off day 63. Day 64, I had created the XP farm in the nether waste biome. I didn't have any footage of it being built, but this is the one from my YouTube channel the other week, so if you do want to replicate this for yourself, there is a tutorial on my channel. But this was great, easy to build, and it got me loads of XP to repair my tools. For the entirety of day 65, I mined cobblestone, because for days 66 through 74, I wanted to build an actual house, because at the moment I just had a bed that was just in the middle of the kind of island platform, and as well there's a lot of lucky blocks and end portal frames and stuff that couldn't be destroyed from the old house, so I wanted to cover those up, so I did build a big tower around those. But yeah, here's some clips of me just building the house. Day 75 to 76, I went back into the Nether to try and find a fortress. I don't know why, there was nothing really there for me to find, but I did kill some wither skeletons to get the first coal, and I did steal some gold from a bastion. Day 77 to 78, I went back into the end to do a bit of exploring. I found an end city which did in fact have a boat, so I went and picked up the elytra. Pretty useless because we didn't have sugarcane to make fireworks, and I did also steal some glass. Day 79, I literally added the glass to the house, that was it. Day 80, I mined more cobblestone, and day 81 and 82, I used that to expand the base. Day 83, I used the end dragon respawn egg that I found, just to see what would happen, and yeah, that was a very easy fight, just wanted to do that just to waste a day. Day 84 to 89, I wanted to do more expansion of the base, so I used the same kind of wall theme to come out a little bit more, and what I also wanted to do with this new area was to upgrade the cobble farm, which is what you're seeing now, because it uses the haste 2 beacon and the efficiency 5 pickaxe. I then created a second platform just on the other side to expand the tree farm, and that kind of moves it out of the way, so when I come to mine any more lucky blocks, they don't get destroyed, because some of them were getting kind of blown up. Days 91 to 99, I mean, I had no idea where day 90 went, but I was a little bit bored, ran out of things to do, so decided to go over the 2000 lucky blocks, and this is just a compilation of all the times that it did try to kill me, or something exploded, anything kind of like that. As the sun rises to start day 100, it was time to reflect on how much of a mess this challenge really was. In fact, I don't really need to reflect, I've been looking at it for the last 5 minutes. But as the sun rises and the day counter at the bottom hits day 3, that is 100 days of 1 block lucky block completed. Day 100. Okay, I'm done.